Hello, it's Nikki. Today I want to talk about the importance of choosing and being very active about what you want your business and life to look like, and to notice where you are saying that you don't mind and what that sense of I don't mind is providing for you. So, as I often do when I was thinking about this topic, I went back to some of my own limiting beliefs, my own history, my own story around this topic. And something that really sparked this conversation for me. Well, there's lots of things actually, because everybody's talking about wish lists and what do you want and choose something. And first and foremost, I've really realized that I've never been one of those generic women, perhaps, or I've always had a sense that for example, just because something's expensive doesn't mean that I'm going to love it more, or just because something's pink doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to like it as a woman or that I'm going to buy it for my daughter. And I think for a lot of years, there was this sensation of like writing your wish list for your business and life. But for some reason, people just put things like shoes on it or a handbag. And I think certainly the last few years has really taught us that there's much more to life. We are much more nuanced. And I often listen to people, on those sort of YouTube channels of saying, what do you want for Christmas? And sometimes people might go, I just want some time off, or I just want to watch the telly, or I want to eat some good food, or I want to have some time with my family. And I also heard simultaneously a male, I won't say who they are, but basically a male celebrity from the UK made a move over to America, and he was being interviewed about it and speaking about it, and he was really championing, that's a really hard word to say, his wife for just saying yes and dropping everything. And he was saying, gosh, she's so brilliant. She's so brilliant as a woman because she would do that. And isn't she great? And I thought, wow, she really is great, because to give up your life for somebody and everything that you know and move to the other side of the world is quite the logistical situation. But also, was she actually happy with that? Or did she say she didn't mind? Or did she put her own needs to the side? And I don't know what the answer is to that. I don't know what she did, but it really made me think. And then it took me back to a teenager and I guess my dating of my 20s. And one of the things men would speak about on the TV, and I know it's different in different forms of relationships, was in that ladette culture of a woman being really easygoing and up for a laugh and being fun-loving and being up for it essentially. And that was a really interesting point of view of, I think many of us who look back go, wow, did that actually feel like me? Or was I doing it to impress somebody else? And I know for the most part, I was probably doing it to think somebody thought I was cool, or to be up for a laugh, or any of that sort of stuff. And I'm really pleased that in my 30s and now 40s, that I have a bit more of a sense of what makes me happy, and choosing and really listening to my own inner voice. So I want to ask you, first and foremost, how do you feel about choosing? How do you feel about declaring what it is that you want? How do you feel actually having that time and space to consider what's next for you? And this may bring up lots of different reactions. Sometimes it might be like, oh gosh, I don't even know. Like, if I said to you, you've got 2 days off where you don't have to do anything for anybody else, what would you do? And on one hand, that would be seen as like a beautiful gift to somebody. But sometimes that can come up with like, well, if I don't have to, I don't know, do work commitments, or if I don't have to cook dinner or care for other people, I don't know, what do I like? And I think this is certainly where I'm at in my life at the moment, is really being aware of time and being aware about how I use it and how I choose to use it. Now, this is not about being selfish or, any of those sort of negative connotations. This is about getting used to choosing. This is getting used to being proactive and knowing that it's okay to have a say. And I think for many years, I went along with other people's agendas, and I just went along, and I didn't want to cause any friction or controversy. And I just sort of was like, easy breezy, lovely Nikki, etc. Now, this does not mean to say that I'm going to be like mean, unapproachable, nasty or anything like that. But it's about now really thinking it's okay to choose, and it's okay to say what I want and to be clear about that. And I think one final point on this is saying you don't mind doesn't actually help anybody else. In fact, it provides a obstacle. So sometimes we can say like, I don't mind, and the other person will be like, well, I need you to tell me, like, what do you want me to cook? Is it this or is it this? Because they're looking for that decision making as well. And so I would love you to think really carefully about what this year has brought up for you in terms of where have you really been in alignment with what you want? And secondly, where have you been saying that you don't mind or it's okay, even though underneath you might be like, I said that it was okay, but actually I feel a bit weird about it. I want you to bring all of that to the surface, because again, once you see it in front of you, you can make a plan and you can do something with it. So yeah, it's a really juicy topic, and this is about you choosing and really answering, I guess, that calling of what it is that you want, because all of those things are like bubbling up inside of us. I always feel like those hopes, dreams, ideas, desires, they've almost like been planted within us, and it's like they're coming out to play. So yeah, give that time and space to really seeing what's going on for you. And do let me know if you want help with goal setting, or even getting the creative juices flowing again, or asking yourself, what do you want? Because again, you might be at this point of time of year where you're like, I just feel tired, I feel exhausted, I feel like I've hit a wall. Take this episode and use it whenever you need it to get back into flow and really analyze what you want for your life. And I have a course, The Magical World of Practical Goal Setting, which could be really useful for you to work through this process between Christmas and New Year, or you can gift it to somebody. Just email and let me know who that is, and payment can be arranged. But thanks so much for listening, and go forth and say what you want. Thank you. All right, speak soon. Lots of love. Bye.